Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's August 2025 and here's my update for this month. I had a really exciting time visiting the Cowichan Valley. You'll see some of my videos that I put at the end of this video. So I'm really excited to share my experience there. And if you're local, please go there. My job as a wine commentator is to seek out things that are interesting. And I think a lot of times we in British Columbia, and I'm included in this bunch, kind of believe that, the best grapes in the world or the most interesting areas are exotic. Moldavia, Croatia, Italy, the little regions in France. When BC has a gold mine in the Cowichan Valley, please go out there if you are local. Don't give up this opportunity. You've got two ridiculously good wineries that are undervalued, that are just starting their climb, and you're gonna miss it. These are exceptional wineries. Blue Grouse Winery, which I have a wine here from Unsworth Winery, that have been brought up by the members of the Jackson family of wines. Go and see them. Ferry ride and then an hour drive from either Victoria and Nanaimo. The place is exceptional. They're brand new facilities at Unsworth. The Blue Grouse facilities have been upgraded and it's a very new facility also. The tasting rooms are magnificent. The staff are knowledgeable. The place is so relaxing, cooler climate than Okanagan, and a hotbed if you love white wines, Germanic varietals that you've never heard of, and Pinot Noir. I can't say enough about this region. And again, it's one of these regions that doesn't get a lot of notice. 10 years ago, the region was not very good. I must say it was because probably there was two things. One, the climate was a little bit colder. And two, there has been an influx of injection of cash into particularly these two wineries. Hopefully other wineries will kind of rise also. And it's just a burgeoning area for wineries, for food, and for tourist attractions. There's a really great tourist attraction called Malahat Skywalk. I'll put the video of my review of Unsworth Vineyards, Blue Grouse Estate Winery, and Malahat Skywalk at the end of this video. Please go and check it out. It's a great weekend. It's better than going to Whistler, which everyone does here, better than going to Victoria, better than going to Okanagan. Just go out there. If you have not tasted the wines in the last 5 years, you'll be surprised. The quality is magnificent. You don't need to go to Italy to find a new place. You don't need to go to Southern California or France or wherever. BC. You can come here to BC, and that's what I'm trying to say to people. I'm like everyone else. Sometimes we poo-pah our own wines, but I'm telling you, this region is hot. And this region is got some of the most exciting wines in BC. I believe probably Unsworth's got the best Pinot Gris in BC right now. I think Blue Grouse makes one of the best Pinot Noirs out there. And watch for their Germanic grape varietals, in particular Ortega grape, which will come out next year for Blue Grouse, and some of the other grape varietals such as Auxerrois at Unsworth. Both of them make also very good Chardonnays, and their sparkling wines, once they start putting Chardonnay in the mix, will be exceptional. So I hope people will listen to me. I try to get ahead of the curve. In extensive tastings over 2 days, I can tell you these wines are as good as you can get for the price. Most are under $30. They have some high-end stuff that's in the $40 and $70 range. If you have the means, it's great. But if you want to just have some nice drinking wine, everyday drinking wine, nice variety, interesting grapes, good quality, just go to these wineries. I'm doing some more reviews of interesting stuff. So a couple upcoming videos I'm going to make. First one I'm going to make is actually just go through very simple things like what do I use in my everyday wine tasting needs. And surprisingly, I actually don't use very much stuff. I kind of use the same things over and over again. So I'll just go through the glasses, decanters, corkscrews, whatever I use. And basically over the course of a year, I use very little stuff. I have a ton of stuff, ton of different glasses, a ton of different kind of contraptions, but I generally go back to the same thing. So I'll just kind of, as a neat video, I'll do that. Doing some other BC wineries. I've done, of course, a extensive review of the tastings I had at Unsworth Vineyards and Blue Grouse Estate Winery. There's a couple others I'm going to do. This one is kind of interesting. I've never heard of this. It's called Cowichan. It's a Chardonnay specialist, so I'm interested in drinking them. They're in the Okanagan Valley, the Naramata Bench. I'm going to do a tasting on the wines of Blasted Church, which is a long-time winery. I haven't tasted those wines in a long time. And viewers will say, Trophy, what are you doing? You're supposed to drink trophy wines. Why are you drinking all these BC wines? A couple of reasons. One is I just do what I do. And I think that's very important to know as a wine drinker. Just because I enjoy trophy wines doesn't mean I cannot drink BC wines. It doesn't mean I cannot drink other types of wines. I enjoy whatever interests me. And I think it's really important to have that variety. And secondly, just for myself, I know I haven't been a big supporter of BC wines, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna just not drink them just because they're BC wines. So if I find interesting stuff like Blue Grouse, like Unsworth, like this product, Cowichan, which I've never heard of, like Blasted Church, I'll drink them and I'll try them out and I'll be honest about my opinions and compare them to the trophy wines I drink. And again, not every wine has to be mind-blowing and we have to go over it for hours and hours and hours. Some are just great drinking wines, and that's fine too. I love that variety. And sometimes, as you'll note in my channel, I haven't been drinking a lot of Bordeaux for a while. Sometimes you get tired of it. Even if you can drink Bordeaux every night, it gets kind of boring for the palate. And next little while, I'll be drinking some BC wines that will kind of be neat. A lot of the BC wines that I'll be drinking are white wines or sparkling or rosé, which is not something that I normally drink in. And so it's just interesting for my palate. I hope that's interesting for viewers and especially for local viewers. I really encourage you, I'm as much of a wine snob as anyone, I think, and I love these trophy wines, but there are great BC wines that are affordable and have value. And that's what I really look for. I look for affordable BC wines. I'm not too much into the very premium BC wines because, again, when you're getting up to the $100, $120 range, there's a lot of choice out there in the world. But for $20, $30, there's not as much good quality choice. And if we get something exclusive, it's kind of neat to be in this area, and we should take advantage of these labels. Like a label like Blue Grouse, I'm sure a lot of people will not have the ability to have this anywhere else in the world unless you're local. Same thing with Cowichan. You probably won't get this anywhere else. So please take advantage of our localness here and support those wineries, not just because they're BC wineries, but because they're quality wines. But that's not to say I'm going to give up on drinking trophy wines. As you'll see, I plan to open the 83 Mouton this month. I hope I will do a review, but a lot of times what happens is that when I drink with friends, we just get in the mood and I just drink it all. And so we can't do the review. So that's life. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I hope I will drink it, I can tell you. And if I have a small tasting note, that's what we get. If I have the presence of mind to save a little bit, then I'll try and do a video on it. I hope people enjoyed my kind of focus on the Cowichan Valley. I really enjoyed going out to the winery and visiting the winery. You learn so much, and I learned, I think, a lot about the Cowichan Valley, just hanging out, not just drinking the wines, hanging out, listening to locals, listening to tourists when they're tasting at the winery, listening to the winemaker, just kind of being there and absorbing it. I think it is a huge experience. It's not something you read in a book, you experience yourself. And that's, again, what I encourage wine drinkers to do. Don't just go and look at some video about some region. Go yourself without any assumptions, prior assumptions, and experience it yourself and see what you think. And you'll be able to draw a lot of conclusions instead of follow other people's conclusions that they've made for you. And again, their conclusions may or may not be right for you. I'm really excited to announce that I will be next year visiting Summerland in the summer, and that's another region that is not as well known. The Okanagan is our top wine region, and there's a lot of great wineries there, but there's probably a lot of people who've done coverage of that. Cowichan Valley is something that no one really knows that well and probably have missed over, and really that's for me interesting because I want to bring that to viewers. Same thing with Summerland. Summerland is not as well known. It's close to Okanagan. I'm going to explore that region next year and do my summer trip there. I'm pleased to also announce that I will be in Italy and visiting the Chianti Classico region and also the Valpolicella region in Italy. I will start to ramp up for that and do a video on Valpolicella. I've done a number of videos on Chianti Classico and really experience the region. This is the key. I'm not going to give you textbook answers. I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to go there without a lot of preconceived ideas. I'm going to just taste, experience, and give you my impressions as a wine drinker and a wine lover. I do encourage people to follow me on Instagram, on my other social media like Threads and Twitter, Facebook, and even TikTok. I've done not very successful, but I do encourage you to go on there, and I'll try and start to figure out what content goes where. Generally, long form videos will come on YouTube, and even shorts will go on YouTube. I think I'll focus more on pictures, photographs on Instagram and Threads, and TikTok. I'll try and do some more funny type things. I will try and give it different viewerships on social media, different sides of things. I'm not going to try and post the same video on all the social media sites. So I do encourage you to kind of look at all my media sites. I haven't done a lot of things on Bordeaux futures. I'm not in that market anymore. I've explained that because based on my age, I'm no longer really interested in futures anymore. If I was 20 or 30, maybe. But the second thing, more important, is I don't think there really is a future. There is a future in the Bordeaux future market at this point. I've bought futures for many years, and most of I've lost money, but that's okay. I just drink it, and that's a gamble that I take, and so that's fine. I never, if I made money, that's great. If I didn't, then I drank it, and that's what's happened. Having said that, it's not, great to always lose money, and so I think for me, the Bordeaux future market really has to show a track record of gains from a number of years before people will really come back in big bunches. And also there's a huge kind of supply of Bordeaux wines, and with the changing demographics of people not drinking as much, I think they probably have to reevaluate some things in terms of pricing. So I'm going to wait for that change to happen, and really in terms of my buying, I buy not as much Bordeaux anymore. I used to buy almost exclusively Bordeaux at retail and also at auction. I buy very little of it now. I just think there could be a better pricing coming up, and there's quite a bit of supply, so they're more interesting markets. What are the interesting markets for me? It's Barolo. It doesn't taste like Burgundy, but it is kind of like the cru system, like Burgundy. It's got the hierarchy now, and it does age well. It does have a very floral, fragrant part consistency to it. And so I think people that find Burgundy overpriced will look towards substitutes. And one of the good comparables would be Barolo, and the other one would be Northern Rhone. Those are the two regions I think have a lot of upside if we're looking for price appreciation. And the other one that I look for is also Champagne. I think Champagne has been undervalued over the last, let's say, 20 years, and I think there's making a comeback. White wines are also making a comeback. The rest of this video is going to be on what's new and on sale in liquor stores, so I hope you enjoy it. Here's what's new and on sale at BC liquor stores for the month of August 2025. First wine is the Louis Jadot 2022 Bourgogne. This is just a simple Bourgogne Pinot Noir wine. And these are just great wines to drink right now. You can probably drink for the next couple of years. Basic wine, lots of cherry and earthy notes. You shouldn't overlook Louis Jadot. With the price of Burgundy's skyrocketing, it's kind of nice to have negotiants like this who are still producing wines that are fairly affordable. So price this one's at $39.99. Good Burgundy drink. Next wine is the Kim Crawford 2024 Sauvignon Blanc. And why I'm recommending this, if you get a very nice discount this month, price from $21.99 to $17.99, so $4 difference. That's almost like a 20 some odd percent discount. And there's nothing wrong with this wine. It's one of these wines that I think a lot of people think, well, it's very generic. But generic is good if they produce consistent quality. Later on this month, I'll be reviewing this wine with their light wine, which is a 7% alcohol, and also their 0% alcohol-free wine. And so they're very innovative. They produce a very good, consistent quality Sauvignon Blanc at a very reasonable price. And for $17.99, I think it is a buy this month. I love the price of this wine. This is the Ruffino 2020 Chianti Classico Reserva Ducal Oro Gran Selezione. And it's really nice to get a wine. This is 2025, so it's a 5-year-old Gran Selezione wine. And it's a very nice kind of price. You're going to get a discount from $52.99 to $44.99. 94-point wine spectator rating. And Gran Selezione is this level of Chianti. It's got everything you'll want in a Chianti Classico. Plum, cherry, earthy elements, a little bit of minerality, good acidity, great with food. You still have a chance to pick up the Don Melchor 2021 Cabernet Sauvignon Puente Alta Vineyard. This is Wine Spectator's Wine of the Year for 2024. And so it's nice to continue to pick this up. It's going to need a little bit more aging before you drink it, but it's going to be just prototypical Don Melchor. Lots of balance, great cassis, black plum, raspberries, graphite. It's going to have a little bit of pepperiness on it and some herbs. So I'm really looking forward to this. I actually myself personally have bought 3 bottles. I'm going to store them for a little while and then, open them maybe in a couple of years. But this will last like 10, 15 years. 96-point wine spectator rating. So kind of a cellar type wine. Just back from my trip from the Cowichan Valley and gonna recommend the 2024 Pinot Gris, which is actually on sale this month, reduced from $28.99 to $26.99. The 2023 is sold out at the winery, so you won't get it anymore. 2024 I did not have, but I'm sure it is of the same quality, and it's nice to get a little break. And a $26 Pinot, it's a pretty good price, and I've had it. I think it's very, very good for a BC Pinot, and I think people will be surprised at the value if you haven't drank Cowichan wines for a while. Again, these are wines that I tasted in Cowichan Valley, so I can personally kind of vouch for them. I don't see, after drinking them, why anyone would go and buy a French Provence rosé wine when you have perfectly good BC rosés at a very, very affordable price. Take your pick or take both of them, Blue Grouse and Unsworth rosé, both at $26.99. That's an incredible price for a rosé. Again, better pricing probably than you're going to get with French Provence rosés. In my opinion, very similar quality, and so why not support BC? And again, it's very affordable. I think rosé is actually one of the really strong points of BC wines. Their price points are great, and their wines are actually very, very good. I forgot to mention on the last photo that the Cowichan Valley is known as Canada's Provence, so why not just buy Canadian? Next wine, again, wines that I've tasted in my trip in the Cowichan Valley. This is the 2024 Pinot Gris from Unsworth. Unsworth, I think this is probably one of the best BC Pinot Gris out there. Of course, it's also very good quality from Blue Grouse. Both of them are excellent. And so I think you should, if you can, pick up both of them and do a compare and contrast. Likewise, they have the Unsworth Pinot Noir 2023 for $38.99. And again, both Blue Grouse and Unsworth make great Pinot Noir wines. It's kind of your choice. I think they're both of very similar quality, which is very high. We're going to end off this video with a couple of Bordeaux wines. First one is the 2021 Petit Figeac. This is the second wine of Chateau Figeac, which is kind of considered a first growth quality wine on the right bank side. I love this wine. It's now reduced this month from $125 to $85. So you're getting almost like a 30 some odd percent discount here. And this is a great wine if you want to try quality Bordeaux, but you don't want to wait. It's drinking very nicely now if you give it a quick decant. Of course, it can age and will improve with age, but it's very drinkable right now. And if you were buying Chateau Figeac 2021, you'd probably have to wait another 10 years to open it. Here you've got a wine that's of the same kind of style and a little bit more approachable in its youth. Another deeply discounted wine this month. This is Chateau Haut Bataille. It is a fifth growth from Pauillac region, priced from $145 down to $95. Great price for a fifth growth wine that's owned by the Caz family, who also owns Chateau Lingebage. I don't think it gets a lot of respect. This is a great wine. Bataille is always very nice, very comparable to wines like Clairemont, which gets a lot more attention, or Darmelac, which gets a lot more attention. But this is a very, very quality winery. Cabernet dominant blend, always very hearty, lots of flavor and intensity, good body, good kind of robust tannins. So always a great wine. And I think it's nice chance to pick up a fifth growth wine under $100 Canadian. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.